Hello, Paul Hamilton here for iPad Monthly. Excited to bring you this tutorial. We're going to look at Keynote and we're going to look at how our students can create these interactive publications with kind of active menu bars at the top, something that Keynote is not traditionally used for, but I've done it with my kids and my students, and they find it really almost like an offline web page. They find it really exciting to be able to do a little bit more with Keynote than just adding text and pictures. So let's take a look how I did it. Basically, there's a little menu system at the top and we're going to create that from scratch. It's a little bit fiddly. It's a little bit technical, this one. So if you're struggling the first time to do this, don't stress. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to it, especially if you haven't used your iPad much. The touch aspects are a little bit tricky. So let's go to presentations. Let's create a new presentation, a brand new one. We'll just select a black template. And the first thing I'm going to do is just get rid of this aspect, but just by clicking each text box once and deleting. And what we're going to do is select a little menu bar. But before that, I do that, I'm just going to create some text. You'll see why I do this in a minute. I'm just going to create some text in the middle of my page that just says slide 1. And then I'll just touch that slide at the side there. I'm going to copy that and I'm just going to paste it 3 times. So if you're not used to that, and I'm just going to quickly go over and just make that slide 2. You'll see why I do this in a minute. Then I'm just going to double tap in there, change that to slide 3. So what I've got now is 3 slides down the side of my page. And what we're going to do is create a little menu bar across the top that will actually, when you touch it, it'll actually go to each of those slides. So what we're going to do here is we'll bring in a shape. So I'll just go with that. That's a nice easy shape. I'll bring it up to the top and I'll just stretch it a little bit. And what we're going to do there is just place a little bit of text over the top. And I'll move that over to the top, double tap, and let's just say that this is our slide. Just to show you this, I'll say that this is slide 2 because what we're going to do is just replicate it each time. So if I put, this is going to be my menu, I can still move that from side to side. I can move that as well. And I'll position it on top. Now, this is the tricky bit. This is the only tricky bit for the whole thing. What I'm going to do is use 2 fingers, or actually 2 hands. I'm going to touch the actual shape with my left hand, so it highlights. And then I'm just, with my other finger, I'm just going to quickly tap the actual text. So now I've got a multiple selection. Some students struggle with this, so just give them lots of time to practice. So what I did is I held my finger down on the actual button and I quickly tapped the text to double select, I guess, 2 items. And then I'm basically going to select the group. Now what that does is it allows me to actually move it and it groups the 2 items together so that I don't have them as individual items. So that's basically it. And what I'm going to do there, at any stage I can actually ungroup them. Okay, at any stage at all, so that I can practice them. And so I'm going to group those. And then what I'm going to do is create one more, and I'll make this my slide, say I'm going to make this my slide 3. So today's tutorial is all about kind of that interactivity, I guess. And you can teach your kids how to get those 2 exactly the same by copying them. But for now, I'll just quickly do 2 here. And let's do a little bit of text and say that this is actually going to link to slide 3. And what I will do is move that up to the top, get it in the center, and then practice my selecting. So with one hand and then a tap, and then I'm going to group them. So what I've got now is 2 menu bars. 2 menu bars that will go to the actual different slides. Now that's the hardest bit of the whole process. If you don't want to get the kids to redo these menu bars, what you could do is actually copy the whole slide at the end. That would be the smartest thing to do. But today I'm just going to show you how to do it. So basically all I need to do now is select my menu bar. I'm going to go to the little spanner at the top there and I'm going to go to Presentation Tools. And then all I have to do is press Interactive Links. And I want it to go to a specific slide. So what I could actually do, I could make it go to the last slide, a previous slide, the next slide, or I could click there and say, okay, really want that going to slide 2. And then if I hit the other one, I can actually make that go to slide 3. And that's as simple as it is creating this interactive publication. And then all you have to do then is get your kids to create the content for each page. And this could be a project about a country, it could be about the human body, it could be a science presentation where you're actually linking each button to a different investigation or a different science experiment. And it's really, really easy to do. So now when I press play, it goes full, and I actually press on slide 3, it actually goes to slide 3, and you can see there that I haven't got my menu bar up there for slide 3. It would just be a case of actually copying each of those slides. So what I could actually do is go back to slide 1, if I just press done there, and what I could actually do is highlight both of those slides, and I could actually copy them, and I could put them, paste them on each of those pages. So once the kids have got that first menu bar done really well, then you can actually just copy the whole menu bar and actually put it in each slide. So this is how we create an interactive publication. It's a really great way of getting kids to think about different parts of the slides. So you can go there, I'm going to slide 3 and slide 2. Really great way of getting kids to think a little bit more deeply, and they're actually getting a few more skills in Keynote, with multiple selections and then linking and hyperlinks and some of that deeper, richer stuff that we want our kids to pick up on. And I think a lot of teachers don't realize that you can do some of this stuff on the iPad. So Paul Hamilton here for iPad Monthly, a quick tutorial on how to create an interactive publication using the Keynote app. Paul Hamilton here, signing off.